Hello everybody, and welcome back to VinnyAdventures. I'm Vinny, and today we're venturing back into Xenoblade Chronicles 2 for the Nintendo Switch. In the last episode, we attended the funeral of Fan Lenorn, and it was not as sad as I thought it was going to be. The game actually, surprisingly, did not play too much with the fact that she was dead. I mean, it was sad, it was a funeral, but they actually focused more on blades and their cores and how different blades and drivers have different core relation, like their cores are different depending on their relationship and how their form was bonded and everything else. And so we got to learn a little bit more about that. But before we really get into the meat and potatoes of this episode, I need to go ahead and just say something and get something off of my back. But I did this and like, this is probably the second time I've done this in the last like month. I went to record the video and didn't hit record. Now luckily, this game doesn't auto-save you. The only time it forces you to save is after a chapter is over. So I lost nothing, and I was apparently smart enough to save at the end of that episode recording. Once I knew that the episode was recorded, the previous one, I saved. So I'm here, I didn't lose anything, like, that's good. I mean, I lost, like, basically, like, probably 30 or 40 minutes of my own playing, so the next, like, 3 or 4 cutscenes that we're gonna have, unfortunately, my reactions to them are not going to be genuine. Like, I'm not gonna fake any reactions or anything, but I'm gonna know what's coming ahead of time. So that's unfortunate, but we just gotta do what we do. Nothing huge happened, but I don't really want to talk too much about that. What we need to do now is we need to head to the Praetor's study in Indolion's Sanctum for an audience with Amalthus.
My apologies. Did I keep you waiting?
No, not really. What were you doing?
I was cleansing the core crystals. It markedly increases their resonance success rate. Bonding with a crystal carries certain risks, you understand.
I know.
When I became the driver of an Aegis, this power was awakened in me.
So, I might be able to do it too?
Who knows? Different people are cut out for different things.
Right, yeah.
Now then, my work is done for the day. Come with me.
A special envoy? To Tantal? Me?
Correct. Behold. As a salvager, I imagine you are already aware, but this is Allrest, the world we currently inhabit. We make our home on Titans, moving in circles around the world tree. And here lies the Great Void. This void came into being 500 years ago. It did not exist prior to that.
So I've heard. It's in our way anyway. It stopped us reaching the world tree.
The Great Void is carved from the Cloud Sea by a monstrous beast known as Ophion.
Wait, you mean that thing?
To be precise, it is an artifice, a servant of the Aegis.
Of Mithra?
So if that thing is Mithra's, then what did it attack us for? Doesn't make sense.
Ophion was felled in the ancient battle with Malos, sinking below the clouds. This means someone must have revived it.
Correct.
And you're saying that someone was Zeke's home country, Tantal?
Yes. They gave Ophion one directive: to ensure that none approach the World Tree. They sought to prevent a repeat of the horrors of the Aegis War, so an obstacle was created, the Great Void.
How did they manage a feat like that?
As I've said, mankind is regressing. Only one artifact remains that can rescind Ophion's orders, and it lies in Tantal.
It's called the Omega Fetter, and it's guarded by the royal family. I'll take you to it.
I've prepared your envoy documents already. Your quest is to set foot in Elysium, correct? Malos and his ilk will surely seek the Omega Fetter for themselves. I would ask you to reach Elysium before they do, and inform me of what you find there. Do it as a favor for a once foolish old man, and so that people may have a future in this dying world.
So Zeke, you're going to be guiding us to Tantal, right? Sure am. But let's head back to our chambers before we talk about it. This isn't exactly the place for discussing stuff. Back to our room? Got it. Alright. So at this point, I kind of went in here and I was like, wait, I like got confused because I heard the sound of this door open, and there's nothing really in here, but it is cool that you can actually come into the Praetor's study. No hidden chests or anything. I already checked, already did all of that. I did talk to Praetor Amalthus. He says literally like the last 4 lines that he just said in the cutscene. Hector, on the other hand, you are bound for Tantal, I believe. I trust that you will fulfill your duty as the Praetor's envoy. Remember, His Eminence has placed all his hope in you. So, at this point, like, I do want to talk about, like, I obviously don't trust the Praetor. And I really feel like it's all very convenient that he wants us to go to the World Tree now that it's been revealed that Malos and them want us to go to the World Tree as well. Like, there's literally nothing really standing in our way. Maybe there will be something standing in our way in Tantal, like the royal family won't want to give up the Omega Fetter or something. I'm not quite sure. But it really, like, it just doesn't, and then obviously, like, Ophion is standing in our way, you know, that is true. That little detail is standing in our way, but it's just, I don't trust Amalthus, I don't trust Indal in general, like, it's very shifty, and that's all I really have to say about that. Plus, you guys might also notice that Morag is not in our party anymore. I don't know if I mentioned that in the last episode or not. I honestly can't remember what I've mentioned and what I haven't at this point. You'll have to forgive me. I'm just kind of a mess at this point. I actually almost didn't continue recording. I was just gonna give up, but I was like, no, I need to get this episode done because I need a certain amount of episodes so that I can continue posting every day while I'm on vacation, because I care about you guys and I want you to have something to watch every day while I'm gone. I don't want you to not have a video posted on you know, any of the days that week just because I'm on vacation. That's not fair. So I'm recording, and honestly I've kind of brushed off my back at this point, but I am a little scatterbrained. I just don't remember what I've said and what I haven't, so excuse me if you feel like I'm rushing through a lot of this. Like, I'm probably not going to stop and talk to all of the NPCs that have new things to say. I did in the last recording of this episode, but I'm not going to do it again. No one really said anything that important. There's just some random townsfolk that are taking advantage of the situation and being scumbags, as the human race can be sometimes. But without further ado, let's talk to Armalia. We've prepared your rooms. I presume you'll be wanting to take your leave soon. Please, make sure you're well rested before you set out once more.
We can reach Tantal by ship, but once we're there, we'll need to do a spot of walking.
So we're travelling with Shell, dear? Never thought I'd see the day.
I think you'll find I make a fantastic ally.
Luck of Zeke not so great. Bet we shipwrecked by tomorrow.
Cheeky furball.
We're all gonna die.
Hey, Zeke. You said before that Torna concerned you too. What did you mean by that?
What? Oh, yeah, that. I don't know about those clans, but Torna, the country that fell 500 years ago, they were the ancestors of us Tantalese. The people of Tantal are descended from Adam, the hero of Torna, who escaped its destruction.
So, after Pyra fell asleep, Adam escaped to Tantal.
That's right.
That is the first I've heard of it. I have studied much history, but this story never featured. Most peculiar.
We're humble. Don't really like to brag about it. The only real trace left is in this here sigil of the royal family.
So why did you awaken Hayes?
Because her power was of great use to me. Indol has found itself under attack from Torna a number of times. She was necessary in driving them back.
Really? Then why don't you seem to have any others? Blades, that is.
Driver though I may be, I am no fighter. Besides, I find the warrior monks here so reliable. They get the job done.
If you say so. I wonder, do you know why Torna are using the name of a dead country?
Jin was a blade of Torna once. Loyalty or nostalgia? Who can say? Perhaps both.
Is that really all there is to it?
You don't think so?
I don't know much about what happened while I slept. There are no written records, either. All we have is stories passed down.
And you think that is insufficient? History is a murky thing. Only those present can truly know what took place.
But weren't you one of those present?
And that is why I offer you my cooperation.
I guess we'll find out if we go to Tantal.
Right, let's head for Goituus Port, my favorite port in the whole game. Can we make it a leisurely walk? I guess, why? It's been yonks since I last went home to Tantal. I think I've been thinking of Indal as my home for so long now, it feels weird to leave. I want to enjoy my last moments here. You can be shockingly sentimental sometimes. I know, shocking, isn't it? Shut up, you two. Gonna take some Indaline presents for the folk you haven't seen in a while. Ha! As if my old man would want any of that. Come on, let's start walking to Goituus Port. You could grab a swig of Odifa along the way. They don't have that stuff in Tantal, so it could be your last chance. I said, shut up already! Alright, so he wants to take a leisurely walk, and like normally I'd walk around and talk to all these people, but like I said, screw that noise. I'm annoyed, none of these people had anything important to say, so I'm just gonna make my way to the next objective. Alright, and just down here at the bottom of these steps at the, I believe it's just like, oh gosh, what is this? It's like the something circle, I don't know. The something circle down there near all the shops is where we are meant to go, so that's where we're heading to next.
Tensions seem high.
From what I gather, it seems an official summit is to be held between Mor Ardain and Uraya.
A summit? You mean about the recent penship? But I thought...
Didn't Praetor Amalthus get 'em to stop and sort it all out?
Perhaps there are some discussions they would prefer Indol not to be privy to.
Besides, Uraya doesn't like to associate too closely with Indol. They'd hate to be seen as acquiescing to the Praetor's will. Got to keep up appearances, you know?
Acquiescing? You what?
Like letting him tell them what's what.
For such a spanner, you sure use some big words. How come?
Stop calling me that! Buzz off, kitty no-mates! Anyway, this summit would explain why Morag isn't around.
Indeed. She has much to attend to.
Shared sovereignty over Gormott.
Yes. I don't think anything less will be sufficient to placate them.
The Senate would never approve it.
I can overrule them by decree. Of course, I would need to secure Senator Roderick's cooperation.
Imperial decree? If it's come to that, well then I cannot dissent. I cannot help but admire your courage, Your Majesty.
That means a lot, coming from you.
Acting Chairman Nira.
Sorry for intrude. Is emergency, so Nira take liberty of drop by unannounced.
You certainly look troubled, Chairman. So, what is this emergency you speak of?
Well...
Alright, the plot thickens. I really like seeing the relationship between Morag and her brother. Have we gotten his name yet? I'm actually not certain if we have, and if we have, I've long since forgotten it. But you know what? Everyone was talking about getting some Odifa, so what I ended up doing in the last episode, and I'm very interested to see if it does it again, I went ahead and I bought 10 Odifa, just Odifa for everybody in the party. And if I remember correctly... Wait, what? Oh man, the last time I did that, it gave me Dev level 1 for Indal, and it didn't this time. Wait, are you kidding me, game? What are you trying to pull right now? Okay. Well, we didn't get a dev level, but Sheba... Oh, yes, there we go. Okay, Indaline Praetorium. That is so weird. I wonder why it didn't actually give me that dev level that time. I bought all 10, and that's all I did in the last time I recorded this. But, yeah, I thought that was very interesting that I was, like, so close to getting a dev level that buying those 10 drinks, which really weren't that expensive at all, was what, like, kicked me over. But yeah, we don't have Morag, unfortunately. It makes me sad. She has other business to attend to at the moment, but something very sinister is going on, which we are, believe it or not, going to find out what that is just down here at the bottom of the stairs.
So, we can make our way to Tantal from here. I assume the Praetor has a ship waiting for us.
Hey, Shalad.
What?
Are we really gonna just leave Morag behind?
Who's leaving anyone? She's got her own priorities, you know?
Yeah, but still.
Anyway, her schedule is filled with official duties right now.
For sure. It's just a bit of a shame is all. You know, since we came all this way together.
I guess I know how you feel, chum. Huh? Speak of the devil.
Bana's going for the summit.
On top of everything, an assassination attempt?
If blood gets spilled at the summit, it'll mean war.
War's good for business, after all. I guess he wants to use that to get himself back in with the guild.
Why, that little? I was wondering where he'd slunk off to. What a sneaky git.
It seems Acting Chairman Nira wishes to take care of this incident covertly, to avoid it reflecting badly upon the guild.
So you came to us?
If we mobilize the army, the whole thing will become public.
Oh, I get it. So we're a more convenient solution.
I'm not forcing you. If you refuse, Bridget and I will do what we can alone.
Ah, come off it, lady. You wouldn't even think of dragging us into this, if you thought you could handle it on your own.
I suppose not. You know Bana as well as I. There's no telling what he might be plotting.
According to Acting Chairman Nira, several giant weapons were being built at the factory where we last saw him. And one of them is currently unaccounted for.
Giant weapons.
Got it. Besides, you know, we've got our own score to settle with him.
Thank you. It will be easier to focus on my duties knowing you are on the case. Good luck.
Leave it to us.
Main story quest, Bana the Schemer received. Alright, so now we are officially caught up, and just because, because I am paranoid, I need to check this. Okay, we are still recording. We are recording. Everything's good. I don't have to have another freak out. I can breathe again. This is about where I realized that my recording was not actually recording. I did talk to a couple of these people. Basically, we are running around here talking to people trying to get information on the whereabouts of a Napon being sneaky and suspicious. We're trying to figure out where Bana is and how we get to him, basically. Hey, you heard anything about the suspicious going down at the Uraya and Ardain summit? Well, I saw these weird bird people. Not like Napon, a bit bigger than that. Really, birdie looking. I think I saw pictures of them before in a picture book, but I can't remember what they're called. Turkin, right? That's it, they're called Turkin. Thanks, that was really bugging me. But what would a bunch of Turkin be doing in a place like this? Cheers! Over here we have Asgal to talk to. Soon will be the big summit talk thing, yes? Friend know anything about suspicious things happening there? I do wonder. Myself, I am Ardainian, yet I live under the protection of Indal, and here the Urians and Gormati, for instance, seem to get along just as well. But just take a look at those lot, clutching their tools of conflict and fixing one another with the coldest of stares. They can't even have a civil discussion short of holding a banquet like this. Don't you think it's absurd? If they have the time to be wasting on such extravagances, they should use it to save their own suffering people. It does frustrate me. Sometimes I think the people running those nations could learn a thing or two from our camp. ... Yeah, you had me until the camp. You're one of those anti-Blade crazy protesters. I don't necessarily agree with your anti-Blade protest, but I definitely agree with your sentiments. If the nations would just get their heads out of their asses and quit fighting amongst themselves, they could come to a reasonable solution, but instead, they seem to want to just be at war all the time. Let's go ahead and talk to Pastique. Know anything about a black market merchant who's been up to no good here in Indal? There was one request I thought was decidedly suspicious. We had a Nabon fellow asking about supplies of poisonous substances. Yeah, I'd say that's suspicious, alright. I told him we do not handle such items here, of course, and he left soon after. But from what I hear, he's been asking around other places, too. Who knows what he might be plotting? Much thanks! What do you have to say, Fadelico? Fadelico. That's how I'm gonna say your name. Oh, I have a good one for you. Nia, Poppy very interested to hear details of this. Yeah, me too. Can you give us the lowdown? Some kind of ingredients with a monstrously foul odor were carried into the Ardainian Titan vessel. The stench was so strong I can still smell it on my clothes. There were other ingredients too, weird and wonderful, the lot of them. I don't know what they're for, but it can't be your average recipes. Much thanks. And all the way down here at the end of Goetuus Wharf 2, we have, Kalimd? Kalimd. Okay. What a strange name. Know anything about a black market merchant who's been up to no good here in Indal? Problems at the summit? A ridiculous notion. The summit will be held aboard this Titan battleship, so we have no need to fear attacks from the outside. I don't know, if he's got a big weapon, then maybe you do. This door is the only entrance, and it will not be opened until just before the summit to admit Queen Rikura. We have not allowed a single suspicious individual to pass this point. As such, there is no need to fear attack from within either. Thanks. For nothing. And over here on Goetuus Wharf number 1, we have Allander. Know anything about a blah blah blah? Perhaps there are untoward intentions on the Mor Ardain side. Frankly, I would expect it. But I can assure you that we of Uraya have no intentions of trying anything funny. The word of Queen Rakura is absolute. We trust in our queen, and as she wills it, we gladly put our weapons aside. So there is no need for concern. Makes sense. Of course, if the queen ordered me to take up arms, I would gladly fight tooth and nail against those Ardanian dogs. You would do well not to forget that. Much thanks. Alright, so he's a little grumpy. Alright, it looks like the rest of the people we have to talk to are probably all up here now. We've got Sioken. Know anything about a black market merchant who's been up to no good here in Indal? There's certainly something not quite right going on. I saw a very large wooden box being transported onto the Titan battleship. Seriously? I was accounted for on the inventory list, so most of my colleagues think it's no problem. But I honestly can't imagine what they'd want such a huge box for. I'm worried about what might be inside. Cheers. Yeah, you think you might be a little bit worried? Arco, what do you have to say? Soon will be big summit talk thing, yes? Friend to know anything about suspicious things happening there? The Ardanian Titan battleship has extremely sturdy defenses. I doubt there is a single weapon in this whole port that could damage it. Even the Aegis? Besides, I hear the main conference will only be attended by a very select group of trustworthy individuals. I can't imagine how any miscreant could hope to get close to the VIPs to harm them, even if they wanted to. A lot of people are on edge, but I don't think there's anything to worry about. Cheers. Yeah, I don't think you guys are quite understanding the situation you might be in. Fionicus, what do you have to say? Know anything about a black market merchant who's been up to no good? Nothing untoward is going on in the Ardanian army, I assure you. Those who have come to Indal belong to the Carrig Imperial Guard, elite soldiers who have sworn solemn oaths to protect the Emperor. So if anything suspicious were going on, I'd venture it would have to be on the Urayan side. I find it difficult to tell what those people are thinking sometimes. Thanks. Alright, it looks like the last person we have to talk to is Runashio. Soon will be big summit talk thing, blah blah. In the current climate, I fear almost anything could happen. I can scarcely wait for the day when that huge awful Titan battleship is gone from our shores. It pains me to even see such an unsightly structure in our beautiful city. I am sure all upstanding Indaline citizens resent its presence. Why can Mor Ardain and Uraya not cease all this foolish conflict and simply submit themselves to the will of Indal? Submit themselves to the will of Indal? You guys sound like crazy yourselves. Alright, and Bana the Schemer was just updated, and it looks like our objective is probably back down here at the bottom of the steps. What? Actually, our objective is over here somewhere. What? Oh, this is very strange. Alright, I guess if I walk over here, a cutscene will happen? No. Wait, where are you going, marker? Wait, did I miss? How could I have possibly missed someone up there? Wait a minute, what? Guys, I'm really confused. This marker is definitely pointing off in this direction, but when I went over there, there was nothing there. Is there like a back way or something? Or like a hidden panel? Or like, am I supposed to know? Like, what is my objective? Take a break. Oh, we're supposed to take a break at the inn and see if you can make heads or tails of the information you gathered. Okay, well, I mean, couldn't the cutscene have just like started? Like, do we really have to stay at the inn? Like, game, you couldn't have done that for me? We've gathered quite a bit of information now. Yeah, and plenty of it blatantly bogus, but there were some rumors in there that did bug me a bit. Time to sort out the real dirt from the baseless suspicion. Ooh, detective time! First we clear up basis premise. Who is targeting Summit of Nations? Is former Chairman Bana Master Pawn forget already? No, Tora not that stupid. It's traditional for deductings to start by listing information everybody know. I mean, yeah, I agree with that. Proper flow is for Rex to think carefully and provide answer. Okay, okay. On to the next basic premise then. Where is the summit to be held? The Sanctum of Indal, or the Ardanian Titan battleship. It is to be held on the Ardanian Titan battleship. Of this I am certain. It's inside the Titan battleship from Mor Ardain. Yes, that's right. It seems like Bana is planning an assassination, but what method do you think he might be using? Striking the whole battleship, stabbing, or poison? Or, oh, sinking the whole battleship. I think poison, because there was that shipment of poison, but they talked about him stealing a big, like, weapon, but I think the weapon is for something else and not for the assassination, so I'm gonna go ahead and go with poison here. I think the method might be poison. Yeah, the ship's totally secure from the outside, and only trustworthy people will be attending after all. I guess the only method that really leaves is tampering with the food. But when would the poison be added, and to what exactly? The main meal at the banquet, or the drinking water for the conference? Oh god, wait! I wasn't paying enough attention. Uh-oh. Did they say they were having a main meal at the banquet? Oh no, what if I get this wrong? What happens? The main meal at the banquet. Oh no, guys, what happens if I get this wrong? Alright, I'm gonna go with probably the drinking water for the conference, because it is a conference. The summit is not really a banquet, is it? I can't imagine that's what it is. So I don't know, we're gonna go with the drinking water. I already feel like this is wrong. I hate everything. Maybe they'll contaminate the drinking water at the conference? But we did not hear that the main conference would only be attended by select trustworthy individuals. It might be possible to contaminate the water supply before the conference begins, might it not? If it were me, I wouldn't even drink any water at the conference like that. Can't be too careful around people you don't know very well. Is that how it works? Maybe there is a more effective method. Oh, so it is the main meal. Alright, so I got it wrong, and they're being very nice and letting me pick the correct one. It's gotta be the meal at the banquet, right? Yes, I can hardly imagine the VIPs will be preparing their own food. I'd quite like to see Morag and Bridget try cooking for a banquet. And someone was saying that they'd seen a lot of weird ingredients being carried. Oh, that's right, they said like a stench. That's right, someone did talk about a stench. But what does that have to do with the banquet? How is that supposed to tell me about, like, a I don't understand. Whatever. Indeed they were. Suspicious big box carried inside, too. Could the strong flavored ingredients be to hide the taste of the poison? Possibly. You're sharp, Rex. I bet that's exactly what they're for. The only question left is, who will be carrying out the poisoning itself? Let's see now. The Turkin. I'm pretty positive of this. Could it be those Turkin? The ones that the girl was talking about? Bana used Turkin as minions before. Tor, a member from Artificial Blade Factory in Mor Ardain. I can see how they might be more convenient for him than hiring professional assassins then. Yeah, but you think Turkin know the first thing about cooking? I don't know about that. Listen, I think we're just going around in circles here. If we know somebody's probably going to poison the food, why don't we go check out the battleship itself? Good point. Regardless of who's carrying it out, we should act fast if we're going to stop this plot. That's settled then. Everybody go to the dining hall of Ardanian battleship. Main story quest, Bana the Schemer, complete. Alright, so now it looks like we have to head back to the Ardanian Titan battleship, so that's where I'm going to next, guys. Alright, and just about 100 yards away is our objective. We are on the Titan battleship now, and here we go.